What's up guys, Sarah and Benjamin here for another video. As usual, I'm here with my good friend Ty. Lately on my channel, we've been focusing on escapes. We just started a new segment and my last video was basically an advanced take on a fundamental escape. So if you want to relearn a couple of different escape methods from side control, definitely check the link in the description. Today we're going to be talking about escaping the leg drag with two different variations and then escaping a low hip position from bottom side control. So instead of me talking more, let's get right into it. Very quickly, I do want to apologize about the camera quality. I'm not even sure if it's different because this is my first time recording with my iPhone. So if it does seem a little off, it's because I'm using my iPhone. So let's go. So guys, the leg drag. The leg drag can be one of the worst positions to be stuck in. Leg drag when he has his knee inside here, pinning my lower leg. He's got his elbow in front of my knee, and he's slowly creeping to my back, right? In this position, let's assume he hasn't flattened both of our shoulders and we still have some hope. If he gets his hand in here and flattens both of our shoulders like really tight, it can be more difficult, and we'll talk about that in a different video. Right now, he's just about to pass and we need to escape. Typically, the first thing I like to do when he gets here is I like to bring my right hand across his throat and I like to grab the top of the gi if I have access to it. If it's no gi, I'll just cup with my fingers above his shoulder. But if I have the gi, I'm going to grab it. Okay? The next thing that I need to do, my first attempt at escaping, is I'm going to, as he's pressuring in, I'm going to sit up to my elbow like this. Right? If I could sit up to my hand, I might, but it's almost impossible, and it's probably more difficult as he's pushing in to sit up to your hand. So realistically, I sit up to my elbow. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to use my right leg to push at his hip while I simultaneously retract my left leg. So again, guys, I'm going to use my right leg to push at his hip while I simultaneously retract my left leg. If I just try to retract my left leg, I will not be able to. If I just try to pull it, he's pinning me. But if I can use my right leg to push his hip back and make some space between his right knee and the mat, I can retract my left leg. So again, I'm here, he's pushing into me, I push, and I get this leg out. Okay? The way that I actually retain is going to differentiate based on what his reaction is. But the most common thing that I do is I now put this hook in here and I turn. So I'm on my left hip, I turn to a right hip and draw my right knee across like so. Okay, now I have like a half butterfly, like an X butterfly guard here, where I'm like this. At this point, he probably bails on the pass, I can extend, and I can get back to full guard retention. So again, boom, he hits the leg drag right away. I'm framing, he's got my lapel, I'm in deep trouble. I sit up, right? I push at the same time that I retract. Again, if you just try to retract, it will not work. You can even try to open your knee just a little bit. You just need to make him lighten this leg. So, like this. Okay, now look, hook in, and then very quickly, because you don't want to get stuck here, I'm gonna fall and draw this knee in. Okay, and now I get back to here, and I'm in this position. So we were able to escape. Sometimes, being honest, it's not going to be so picture perfect, right? Sometimes you're going to get here, you're going to be fighting, you're going to push, get this leg out. You might get your hook in, and you might end up like this with like an outside ashi, right? If you can do leg locks, I cling, grab the top of the foot, and I start to look for leg locks. If you can't do leg locks, right, then my sole focus is to frame. I don't go for the ankle lock. I only go for the leg lock if I have access to toe holds, knee bars, and even heel hooks. But if I just have the straight ankle from this position, a lot of guys will retract this and smash. So I like to keep my hand here, and look, I'm going to turn and push his head, his neck, like this. Then my foot comes to his hip, I come into an X, single X guard, and now I have my guard back. I don't want to focus on trying to ankle lock, and Ty just starts to smash me, and then I'm not able to get anything. I want to focus on my escape, so I turn my knee into him, right? Put this foot on the hip, and then come back into a single leg X guard. I see a lot of people go for foot locks that aren't otherwise there, and they end up getting their guard passed again. So one more time on that escape. He's got the leg drag. I'm framing. I get here, I open, I come here, and I get back into this position. So that's my first option with the leg drag. Alright, sometimes if he's standing, I'm going to put Ty on the spot here, so stand up, and he drags my leg across his body, and I'm already here, and he hasn't come down. It's actually much easier, right? Here I just scoop back, pummel, and then I just pull him over. and I go into single leg X. I do that all the time. Right, we're here passing, he drags my leg across. I already pummeled my leg here, pull, and I go into single leg X or X. Right, so the thing is just to be able to be quick. So one more time, we're here, he drags my leg, and I get this in. Maybe I just come back into a regular butterfly. So my second escape is gonna be when he's in the leg drag. Maybe he's a little tighter, right? And I'm not maybe able to sit up to my elbow just yet. Or maybe I just wanna go for this. Guys, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit up again, as much as I can. Right, I wanna get to my left elbow. And now look, maybe my frame, he was hiding it because he's starting to hunt my back. Yes, exactly. If he's starting to hunt my back, it becomes a huge issue. Okay, so very quickly before he's able to get my back, look what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna wrap his head and bring my fingers like this, and I'm gonna bring his carotid artery to here. So like a half guillotine so far. If I can get all the way under the throat, that's great, but realistically it might be difficult. Keeping my elbow heavy. And now look, guys, I'm going to open my knee in this direction, and I'm going to, again, once this leg lightens up, I'm gonna pull it out and turn into him, all in one motion. I might have a hand assist here, so like this. Okay, now as I adjusted and turned into him, my right hand came across his throat. Now I come here with my left hand, go hand to hand, and I finish my high elbow guillotine. I have 2 videos where I discuss the high elbow guillotine in detail. I will link those in the description, but I don't want to waste time with those. So I'm here, come around, this is my grip. So one more time, he's here, he's passing. Maybe I had my first frame and he got his head under my elbow. Boom, I come up, wrap his head, and look, very quickly, I come here. Guys, even if you end up like this, no big deal. Your knee doesn't need to be across. His head is on the wrong side. I can't let Ty jump over to this side. I cannot let him do this. Exactly. So if I see he's trying to do that, I bring my legs up and I stop, push, come up to my elbow, use my foot to hip escape, and I finish my guillotine anyways. Right? So one more time. He's here. Right, I had my first frame. I tried to get up. He got underneath. I get to here right away, guys. And then boom. And then I can finish. Guys, bring this leg as high as you can on his back. Crunch up and get your finish. Again, I have 2 videos on the high elbow. Not going to break it down right now. So guys, the next position that I want you guys to learn to escape is very similar to a leg drag, and it's a low hip side control position. So what I mean by low hip is he's here and he's low on my hip, just like this. So he hasn't quite got head control yet. Okay, he hasn't got head control and he's low on my hip, he's trying to pass. So guys, the first thing that I always like to do when they're here is I try to bring this hand in and frame on his shoulder. Okay, very similar to all my other escapes. If you find the way I escape, I'm oftentimes trying to sit up and get butterfly hooks by pummeling. I used to invert a lot more, but nowadays I just do seated guard. So look, he's here. Look what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna push and sit up. Okay, I'm not turning my back away. Some people might think I'm exposing my back, but the thing is I know where I'm going, so I need to be quick. So I got to this position, and look guys, this hand, or this leg, pardon me, should be very free and able to move. Even if he's pinning really hard, my leg is stronger than his arm. So I bring my leg to me, pummel inside, and then look guys, very quickly I'm gonna turn, use my hook, and draw my knee in. Just like this. And I get back. So it's like, if he's passing and he gets low, right away I'm here, and I get back. It's a very simple way to escape. If you find that you're not able to turn into your opponent, you'll know right away. So he comes in. This is where we chain our attacks. If you saw my last video on side control escapes, my first option is here. I'm trying. Maybe I feel like, man, I really can't move this leg. So now I'm going to draw it close, and I'm just going to turn into him and frame his head aggressively. So much of retaining guard is knowing the right time to abandon an offensive position and start to be defensive by creating space. Here I tried to pummel my leg, I couldn't get it in. So now that's it, I'm done with everything. My single goal is frame his head, because he has to get my head to pass, and get space, and get back to guard like this. Right? Both hands framing as hard as I can. So I was here, I tried my first one, didn't work. I'm wiggling, I get back. It's not fancy, it's not pretty, but it's functional and it's important. One of the #1 things for guard retention, because it's a question people always ask, is how do you do this, how do you do that? And half the time I tell them, I'm like, man, you just got to know when to give up your offensive position, and you just got to know when it's time to let go and attack in a defensive way. So start to make space, start to freak out, start to push, start to just get your knees in. I say freak out, I don't want you to be a white belt spaz. But man, I know higher belts that are really good, and the reason is because when you're about to pass, they freak out technically. They freak out technically, they push, they shove, they frame, their knee comes here, their leg comes there. And that's honestly the name of the game with high-level guard retention a lot of the times. It's just being super tenacious with some form of technical direction. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. I just found out that if you don't hit that little notification bell, you will not be notified when I make a new video. I do things in segments, so I think if you want to be keeping up with the segments, you should definitely hit that little bell. Thanks so much to my friend Ty, and if you like this again, don't forget to subscribe. Always, guys.